Phantom is the wallet of the Solana blockchain, pretty much. They told us that they actually can control about 90% of market share when it comes to Solana wallets, which is pretty remarkable. We weren't able to independently verify that, but it's quite an interesting comment on the reach of this particular browser wallet. It's how most people are interacting with the Solana blockchain. Hey, they just raised $109 million at a $1.2 billion valuation, and they are trying to win the day when it comes to crypto wallets. So a lot of good stuff in this piece, some interesting details. We could go any number of ways on this one, but Solana has had some hiccups in recent weeks, but the valuations for projects therein are still pretty lofty, and this is maybe the latest example of that. But Will, I'm curious for your thoughts. Take it away.
Yeah, I'll take two things off the top, and one is that they're going to launch an iOS app, which is a huge way of onboarding people into the crypto ecosystem. See, things like MetaMask are right now on iOS, and it's not super user-friendly, but it is there. And then there's competitors like Rainbow and Dharma, which actually just recently closed shop, but it was there. Those things were on iOS, and it really onboards all those people who are interested in crypto, but they're not crypto native. They're not going to be downloading something on their browser. They're not going to be downloading a cold wallet onto their computer. But they'd like to have a few tokens, flip them, maybe some Shiba Inu, put it on their Apple device, and just kind of run with it from there. So it's huge that Solana can have those members as well. A lot of people have iPhones, and a lot of people like to interface with iPhone. So it's a big way of getting more people onto your blockchain. Second thing is that they are closed source, which is a very interesting philosophical discussion within the crypto ecosystem. And it's also an interesting practical way of going about building your own application. Most wallets and almost all projects are open source, meaning that you can go copy paste the code, change it however you want, and just run with it. Things like MetaMask could do that. I don't know if Rainbow does it, but a lot of the other competitors do open source their code. And they do that for a few reasons. One of the biggest reasons is, hey, if you have an open source code and there's something wrong with it, they can, like a bug bounty guy can come in and be like, hey, look, your code's messed up. They can get a little reward for that, and then nobody gets hacked. If it's closed source, well, it's a little bit more difficult to get that peer review from the ecosystem. So that's a big reason we see a lot of people do open source. And then it's also just part of the community. Blockchain spaces are supposed to be for everybody, supposed to be inclusive, supposed to be able to build different applications with different code. It's always nice if there's something pre-existing to use. But for whatever reason, Phantom is not doing that for the moment. I think they said in the article that they're looking to do this going forward. Zach, I want to throw this up to you, though, for your takes. Those are my two things off the top. I don't know if you edited the story or if you wrote it, but it's a pretty big deal to get that much money.
Yeah, I edited it, and no, I think you homed in on the things that stood out to me as well. The closed source decision, I think, is an interesting design choice. We're going to hold them to their word that they're working toward working through the quote Pandora's box that going open source after launching privately would entail. So there's an interesting little nuggets in there that these are basically the only game in town when it comes to people using a wallet to interact with the Solana blockchain, to use DeFi applications, to store their NFTs, all sorts of things. So going to be interesting to see if a potentially open source rival emerges that some people may flock to. But for now, folks don't seem to be bothered by the fact that that is a closed source project. But it is interesting that they're commanding such a large percentage of that market share, and it makes sense that these investors would ape in at such a high price, given that they are becoming, pretty central to most folks' experience of the Solana blockchain. But Sandali, I'm tossing you.
Thanks, Zach. So I kind of agree with what Will said. I was reading up on Phantom the other day, and I came across there's, of course, a Reddit thread that discusses this open source code issue. And a lot of people say, some are saying that it makes them very suspicious, and they feel like they can't trust it because it's closed. And the others say, before the app came around, that keeping significant amount of money in a browser extension, of course, is a bad idea. And so I agree with what you said. I wonder how important it is for the greater public, people just looking to have a safe wallet and keep their money safe, how important it is for to them, whether it's open or closed. So I'm going to toss to I think back to Zach on. if
I'm
you
gonna
have
bounce
any.
I
back
have
to
put my
Jen.
hand
She
up.
put her
I
hand
think
up.
at least 3
Oh,
no,
Jen,
times.
everybody.
sorry.
Let's go to the next
First of all,
story.
everybody,
Let's go to the next story.
this is Sadly's first appearance on the hash.
Okay, to
This is her first appearance on the hash. She's getting the ground rules together. Don't go off on her in the comments,
No,
okay?
she's totally correct.
We're happy
I
to see
know.
you here.
From Jen.
I'm going to
Yeah,
take
it's
it.
my
I'm
first
going to
time,
pass it
guys,
down
please. Okay,
to Jen.
Jen first.
I would like to
All right, Jen.
activate the free Jen movement. No.
Oh, no.
I was going to say a lot of the same things. I know Phantom really has the first mover advantage when it comes to the Solana blockchain. And Will, just off the back of what you're saying, when we think about
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
She's
wow.
a mess this last 2 weeks.
Wow.
Oh, wait, she's
Oh,
back.
no, she's
No,
back.
she's back.
Oh, she got
I'm
freed.
back.
All right, nice. Oh, no, it did it again. The worst.
Okay, get her
All
off
right,
the
we got to
screen.
take. Oh, no, she's back again. Wow.
This is like a
This
yo-yo.
is so much. This is so much.
can't-
Wow, she's done.
Control,
Jen.
She's
control,
frozen
cutter.
again.